On my last video I showed you how easy the Deus was straight out of the box, switch on and go by using the basic one program. On this short video I want to run through the basic menu settings and how to adjust your Deus. And there's also two other programs I'd like to talk about. Factory program number 2, Goldmax Power, and factory program number 3, Deus Fast, but I'll get to that in a moment. So the menu button is the one in the middle underneath the word menu. We're pressing it now and we've got discrimination. Now on the basic one program, discrimination is set at level 10. Discrimination rejects iron, it separates ferrous from non-ferrous. Iron is ferrous, coins, silver, jewellery, etc. are non-ferrous. So the idea here is to reject the iron and keep the good stuff. Discrimination at 10 is quite a high level and you're going to reject most iron. But please be aware that large or misshaped iron can still come through as a signal. You can't reject large and misshaped iron, it's simply not possible. So what we try to do is reject most iron. Now as I scroll down, the next one is sensitivity. The factory default sensitivity is 90. Now the sensitivity adjusts the power of your machine. It adjusts how sensitive the machine is to targets. By raising the sensitivity you may get a little bit more depth, but the trade-off is your machine may become a little bit unstable. And this is why sensitivity is set at 90, which is a good all-round setting. Let's go down one more. We've got our frequency changes. I'm using the HF coil here. Now the frequencies are, at the bottom it's 14 kilohertz, 30 kilohertz, 54 kilohertz. Now there's in between frequencies, we call them offsets, so that's just a rough range of frequencies. Just very quickly, frequencies can help you find certain targets. Lower frequencies are better for bigger targets, higher frequencies are better for small targets, but we've got separate videos on that. Let's go down one more on the basic one. We've got iron volume and you'll see there it's on 0. And if you remember on my last video I said iron volume was off, it was on 0, so we didn't hear an iron tone, we heard a middle and a high tone. Now if I wanted to introduce iron volume to the basic one program, all I do is turn it 1, 2, 3 respectively, and this will give you an iron tone, and the numbers are the actual volume of the iron tone, so you can have it very quiet or very loud. It's as simple as that. The next one is reactivity. Basic one's got a reactivity of 2. Now the reactivity determines how fast the machine will reset after seeing a said target. For example, if you're searching amongst lots of iron or lots of different targets, you want the machine to reset very quickly to see the next target. The trade-off with having a higher reactivity, it can nip a very small amount off of your overall depth. A low reactivity, the trade-off is you may miss some targets next to each other because it's seen one target and it's not reset to see the next. A higher reactivity is ideal if you've got lots of iron on your site because you want the machine to jump from one target to another. A really good all-round reactivity setting is 3. The next one down is audio response. Now this doesn't actually add any extra depth to the machine, it just gives you a better perception of depth. For example, a low audio response will give a quiet sound for deep targets or small targets and a loud sound for shallow or big targets, so you get that contrast between depth and size. Now if you had the audio response right at the top, 7 for example, every target would have the same audio intensity, so you'd have no idea whether it was deep, small, shallow or large. Now this is okay if you're a little hard of hearing, but it's not something I'd really use out in the field. Once again, an audio response of between 4 and 3 is the perfect all-round setting. Knotch, I've done a video on Knotch, so we don't need to go there at this stage because Knotch isn't really a beginner's setting. And we're back around to disk. You've probably noticed on the left there we've got an expert feature, but we're not going to go there now, that'll be another video. So that's explained the menu settings. Once again, we're ignoring everything on the right hand side there, the ground balance settings, etc. We don't need this because we're new to the Deus. But a question you may be asking is, why do we have factory preset programs when I can adjust it myself? Well, the factory preset programs have taken a lot of the guesswork out of your adjustments. Let's take, for example, Basic 1, Gold Max Power and Deus Fast, the factory default settings for the XP Deus version 5.2. First of all, we have Discrimination. Basic 1 has Discrimination of 10, Gold Max Power 6.1, Deus Fast 6.1. The iron volume, as we talked about, Basic 1 has an iron volume of 0, so it's actually turned off. There is no low tone for iron. Gold Max Power, iron volume 3, and also the same with Deus Fast, iron volume 3. Now we have the reactivity. Basic 1 has a reactivity of 2, Gold Max Power also has a reactivity of 2, Deus Fast has a quicker reactivity of 3, making it a better choice when searching amongst iron. Now here we have another setting we've not yet talked about because it falls underneath the expert menu, and it's the silencer. Now the silencer determines how the machine reacts to certain types of iron. It's like an iron filter. Basic 1 has a silencer of 2, Gold Max Power has a silencer of 2, and Deus Fast has a silencer of -1, which means the silencer is actually turned off, which once again is a great help when searching amongst iron because it'll allow you to find targets closer to iron. Let's have a go at that one. Not very big because it's out already. Piece of silver. Dropped it, look. No idea what that is. Could actually be a coin. It doesn't look like the conventional coin we find here in the UK. Looks a bit odd. I'm pretty sure that's an Italian solidino. Pretty good signal there. Hovering around the 50s. Here we go, we're out. I know what that is. That looks like the bottom of a Roman fibula. So as you can see, the XP Deus is still not a difficult machine to use. If you wanted to use Basic 1 and make a few adjustments, you can turn Basic 1 into Deus Fast quite simply. But why do that? Because all you have to do is press the plus button to change programs, and the XP Deus has made them changes for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up soon on the next XP Deus Beginner's Guide video.